Hi, my name is Chark Hello, my name is Chark and I'm going to present on my lobbying topic, which is to reinstate the National Service Program under a new syllabus. So now I'm just going to briefly talk about the previous National Service Program. It was started in 2003 and abolished in 2018. Now, it was abolished because amid some controversies that the dominant party at the time, Bars National, was using it as an indoctrination program to brainwash candidates into voting for them. But allegedly, on their mission statement, they claim their goal was to promote unity and harmony among various races and age groups. The objectives are similar: to promote unity among the races, and also to train the candidates to be better individuals that shows qualities such as leadership, volunteerism, intelligence, things like that. And one of the controversial objective was stated was to develop a generation that is obedient and loyal to the government, which is in line with the controversy which Bars National tried to indoctrinate those candidates. So basically there's a lot of negative outcomes from the previous national service. Most of them were deaths, and these deaths are not deaths because of vigorous training. It was due to poor management, right? These deaths are food poisoning, disease, sickness, and as I said, poor management, because the camp's facilities do not have the adequate medicine or hygiene to ensure that the candidates are healthy. So these deaths are avoidable deaths. So in the end, it has a terrible it leaves the program a terrible reputation, which is ill managed, misused, and a total waste of time and government resources. Waste of time not only for the individual but also for the people that's involved. Okay. So this is a brief map showing national service programs all around the world, and I'm just going to emphasize on a few, which is our neighboring countries. There's Singapore, Thailand, and Indonesia. Now, Indonesia, there's no national service program, but later I'll talk about that later. Why they don't have is because of budget concerns, and also their population is very large. I think 3 times larger than Malaysia, so they have no problem finding men to serve in the army. In Thailand, candidates are selectively selected, and they only target men, and they are trained military training, so they know what to do in war. So similarly in Singapore, they also train military training, and only men, but in Singapore it's mandatory. So how does this differ from our previous national service? Is men and women train together, which in my opinion is a horrible idea. Like, you think about it, you put men and women in a secluded remote location, things are bound to happen. Even if things do not happen, like men and women together, it's a distraction. People, they don't really learn much in isolation there. Why would you even think of putting men and women together if you wanted them to learn, to be better individuals? What if you want to have a social club between men and women? Then just this school is basically just school, high school. So, and then the main thing is they do not learn military training. They learn the most useful skills they learn is civics and marching. No, and there's no physical training like running, exercising. No, literally just civics and marching. Every morning they train you to go march, sing the Negaraku, and then in the afternoon you go to class and you study from a book. If you want, you know what that sounds like? It's just high school, primary school. So basically candidates are just doing for 3 months what they've done for the past 12 years. It's a total waste of time for everybody involved. So this is expectation. Vigorous training, military style training where they learn teamwork, they improve their physical capabilities. But in reality, 95% of the time in the afternoon, they're just studying, right? They do not have regular training routines where this does not happen on a regular basis. At most, a handful of times, 2 or 3 times, and that's it. Most of the time, they're just sitting in a classroom like this, studying. If you want to teach them civics, just put the syllabus inside the primary school syllabus, the secondary school syllabus. You don't need a remote camp for them to sit down and study. That's just a waste of time, waste of resource. So the reception of our Malaysian National Service versus other countries, as said from Singapore or Thailand, is that because in other countries they learn military training, they know what to do in a war zone. And what do you expect from people that are trained to be soldiers? You expect them to show leadership qualities. You expect them to be hardened and tough individuals. You expect them to think on their feet. They know what to do in a war zone. They know what to do to survive in dangerous situations. These training is never taught in the Malaysian National Service. They just spend 3 months there studying from a book in the classroom. And in the morning they learn how to march. That's it. They do not learn valuable life skills. Let's say in other countries, their military training, let's say the candidate is very arrogant, don't want to learn anything, don't love the country. At the very least, they undergo physical exercise, they have healthier bodies. So there's one last point on the touch point is, in the military training, especially military training, which you have a lot of dangerous elements such as weapons, and they train you what to do in times of what they simulate the scenario. If you get captured by enemy, they torture you in water, maybe there's drowning. It's understandable because they're putting you under harsh, dire circumstances. So there is expected to be candidates dying from these vigorous scenarios. On the other hand, in Malaysia, candidates are expected to die from food poisoning or bad hygiene practices in the camps. That's it. They do not die from vigorous training, running, no. Maybe 1 or 2 cases, but most of the time it's just poor management causing unnecessary deaths from sickness. So it's very embarrassing for our national service, or for our government, to implement such a terrible idea just to kill 22 people like that. It's a waste of time, waste of life, waste of money. So why should we reinstate a new national service? There is a minor reason. The minor reason is same with the reasons all around the world, which is to bolster defense of the country. In times of national emergency, there will be a reserve army in times of crisis, so we have a backup army. It's arguably that Malaysia don't need it, but then I would say that Malaysia went to war with Indonesia before. So maybe in the future, far future maybe, there is a possibility. So it's not a bad idea to have a reserve army, a backup defense. And also, but the main reason is to train individuals to be better people. Military training, soldier training, if you train them how to survive in a wartime environment, they definitely know how to survive in society. You train them how to dodge bullets, how to function under stress, under pressure, when there's bullets, explosions run in a wartime scenario. They will know what to do, obviously, in a normal scenario. So they just come out better people after military training, proper military training. So who we are, the organization that I'm representing is the leaders of tomorrow. Our slogan is to secure Malaysia's future. We want to create more capable individuals and leaders that can lead Malaysia. So our vision is to create a future with more capable individuals that can lead and improve our country. Our mission is to prepare candidates to be capable individuals that can not only improve the quality of their lives, but most importantly, the lives of the people around them and their country. So, how would a new national service be different? It will be goal-oriented, results-driven, and most importantly, it will be carefully planned. So no more mismanagement and no more poor management and people dying of food poisoning, all the nonsense. No more of that. So how are we going to do it? First, we do it by steps. First, it will be voluntary. Voluntary. The reason of this because is, even though we want to carefully plan something new, we want to make sure it is perfect. And for the rare chance, let's say, even though through all the planning, the program it was a disaster, it being voluntary, we'll expect a small batch of recruits. So if it was really that bad, it's only going to be bad for a very small amount of people, and then we know what to improve upon. But if it's good, it doesn't hurt to be careful, because we want to make sure that this new program is effective and it does not waste people's time. It's actually something that everybody and the public can look forward to. Therefore, once we perfect it on a small group of people, then it is safe for us to introduce an idea to recruit more candidates. This way, public perception and confidence on the new program will be heightened. So no more poor managed, short-sighted national service program like from previous government. Also, it will be purposeful and specialized training. So the initial plan is just to give them proper military training. If with enough time and preparation, have enough candidates, we can branch out. Maybe they'll be specialized in the Air Force, the Navy, the ground troops, or maybe even more specialized infantry, ground infantry, mechanized infantry. All these, but first we just going to start with basics. Basic foot infantry. How are they going to survive in the war zone? And as I said before, soldier training, proper military training, when you train soldiers to know what to do in times of war, in times of peace, obviously can they cope. If they can survive in the harshest environment, they definitely can survive in a modern day society in normal circumstances. They can show qualities such as leadership and teamwork and all the things. So yes, better learning outcomes. This is something I want to touch upon, which is the previous national service program. You get a certificate no matter how good or how bad you perform. It doesn't matter. You just go in as long as you do not make any of the instructors angry, you do not get dishonorable discharge by being not disciplined. You just sit there, just do what you're told. The bare minimum, you get a certificate. Compared with somebody that really go through the test, really study and work very hard, they get the same certificate. The new national service, we want to implement a system that will reward candidates that show initiative and actually goes extra mile. So of course we will not have them to redo the training if they fail, but we want to encourage them to do better. So let's say if someone do very good, we encourage them with a better certificate, with a better result, and maybe possibly with cash incentives, such as we give 5,000 for example for somebody to do very well, things like that. That's an important thing. We want to make sure that there is a good candidate, bad candidate, very good candidate. We want to make sure that that candidates are rewarded for learning and taking the initiative to learn. So what are we lobbying for? A national service program that can benefit the individual by providing him or her valuable skills that they can implement in their life for the betterment of themselves and society. A national service program that's planned thoroughly and created for an altruistic purpose for the country. A national service program that can train a reserve defense force in case of a national threat. As I said before, we went to war with Indonesia before, so it doesn't hurt to be cautious and be prepared for the far future maybe. And maybe there's a conflict we will never know. So the related laws and policies is the Act 425 of National Service Act of 1952, which is an act that is relating to the registration of the people. Mostly is if you're sick, if you're not sick, the minimum age, and where you can go to. You can go to the police, you can go to the civil defense force, things like that. So there's a law in place that can ensure that there will be candidates. So the conclusion is the old national service program is poorly managed, and it's a total waste of time. It's basically a white elephant. It's time to start a new program, starting small, ensuring that it's good and thoroughly planned to avoid embarrassing accidents from previous programs such as food poisoning and bad hygiene. Right. So the new program should serve a specific purpose to improve the individual, and most importantly, there's proven results to continue supporting it. Unlike the previous one, where it's literally you do not know whether it's effective or not. You do not know if the candidate went out from the program being a better person. So the new one, it has to have a purpose. It has to have results. And that's it. Thank you.